Alright, so I like swapped the build. I watched the video. And the video, basically it was exactly what I was expecting. I swapped the build for like two reasons. It was one, the 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 talent thing the guy used was out of date, right? So I'm assuming that would change the build. And two, it basically was what I was assuming, which is where you use rare forms to kind of like refill. And I really didn't want to do that sort of playstyle. So I found another build that is supposed to be. I don't know how well it'll go because it's assuming you're like max level, but we're just gonna brute force it the best we can. So and just hope for the best. If worse comes to worse, my plan is just to reroll into a shaman. That's my plan. If worst comes to worst, I'm gonna reroll into a shaman because the lightning, the tornado thing was pretty cool. Also, I now understand why the build was like scaling or had a whatchamacallit. I didn't need that button. Oh, I had Storm Strike, and that was because the tornado thing pulls from Storm Strike, it seems. Oh. Because, with the Storm Strike stuff, it was the case of, the tornado with the storm bolts. Apparently they pull from the, a tornado with storm bolt pulls from the gathering storm tree. Yeah, the old and to be fair, like it feels weird because so there's a build I do want to change. I think I'll probably like swap to later, but I need a specific unique to swap to it. And it's a warbear build, but it's a like a cold warbear build. And you need a specific unique to make it work. And so when we get that, I think like it's probably still like I'll probably just wait till high level to swap to it, but we'll try it out. It's just the main issue is that a lot of the builds right now are like people are playing 1.1, so a lot of the builds haven't really been adjusted for or from 1.0. And so, and like they've done a lot of adjustments to different trees. They still haven't fixed the problem where some of the trees like out of your field of view is a problem. Oh my goodness. May. Hello. Oh shit. How are you? Big bear? No, no. Jumbo bear, yes. The big bear is whoever redeems biggest bear. Please stop. Oh, that's right, he can't be stunned. I forgot about that. We'd ignore him. I need to get around to getting build building stuff. Good to hear, good to hear. How am I doing? Not too bad. It's a little cooler today, so it wasn't because it like rained yesterday, so it's kind of humid, but it's not like super hot at the moment, like it has been the last couple of days. So that'll probably change like tomorrow. There we go. May is the biggest bear I know. Goodness gracious. But yeah, hopefully the weather's not too hot for you. It was pretty bad here for a while. Like we didn't reach triple digits, but we had like mid to high 90s and like humidity over like 40% for like most of the week. Well, that wasn't fun. But today's at least was a decent bit of a break. I think I was only in like the high 80s today. So slightly more manageable. Super hot and rainy here, that's the worst. I can't stand humidity. Humidity kills me more than the heat really does. Because I used to, when I went to university a long time ago, it was, well, I mean, it's been a while now. But when I graduated high school and went to university, it was in a spot that was like very deserty, so it was really dry. And I didn't, like, 100 and, like the summer day would be like 110. It'd be like 100 to like 110s on average. And I was like, it was hot, but it wasn't like I wouldn't die like I do now. Need aspect of the board. Getting hit? No, I'm not getting hit. I thought I was getting hit. So it was just the warbear form dropping off. So yeah, so it's not too bad today, thankfully. It's like hard. Tell about it. Bro, whenever it's like super humid, I don't even want to get out of bed. I just don't even want to get out of bed. I'm just like, let me cease to exist. I'm gonna die, I think I can tell. Oh, maybe not. Oh no, we're fine. Nice. Nice. I honestly thought we would die here. I saw my HP like dropping. So many mosquitoes. That's one thing we have nice here, at least so far. I don't know if it's like specifically like where I live, but like we don't get very many mosquitoes, even though it rains a bunch. Cause like, I guess the soil here is always just dry. So like usually like the grass grows really fast. So there's no like it's really weird. I've seen like the grass be like in like some people's yards, like be a couple inches tall, and then they'll mow it, and then it'll rain, and then it's like almost half as like half the height it was before, like a day or two after. At least like where I'm at, there's not a lot of like stagnant water, so there's not a lot of mosquitoes most of the time. So we do have a lot of fireflies though, which is nice. The rain makes you sleepy. Yeah. Yeah, that too. Yeah. Great. Well, I mean, like, I think I get a little less, have a little less of the sleepiness now because when it rains, my like here it tends to thunderstorm a lot, and my dog doesn't like thunderstorms at all. Granted, he's kind of like chilled out as he's gotten older, so it's not like too bad. But I don't get like too, I don't know why, like by default I just don't get all that tired anymore or like sleepy in a way. Four. Where did I put the other one? Oh, over here. Fireflies, yeah. Sometimes they, well, because of 4th of July, I don't know if they got spooked or, which generally happens every year, but usually like in my backyard when I walk my dog, there's always like 10 or so like fireflies flying around. And like most directions I look. It's really nice. It's like probably one of the main things. Probably one of the only things I like about where we live at the moment is there's a bit of wildlife. Like there's always deers that are passing by. I've seen skunks. I've seen a fox. We've got a lot of like different birds that fly around, so it's kind of like a little scenic, even though it's a neighborhood, because we live like we're technically in the town, but it's like on a peninsula that leads into a lake, right? And so the it's like pretty secluded from like actual town, so a lot of like nature and wildlife walks through here. And my neighbors have these like fruit trees that I don't really know what they are. They're not really like apple trees, but they grow some kind of like fruits. So a lot of times the deers will just be chilling in their yard, and they'll be like back and forth between their yard and our yard. There was one time I went to walk my dog because so our lot is about like half an acre, and so usually I do 1 or 2 laps depending on how. When it's cooler, I'll do like 3 or 4 laps, but when it's hot, like when it's hot, even my dog is like, "Why are we still out here, bro?" And I'm like, "You know what? You're right. You're right." And so we usually come back in sooner, but definitely sometimes there's one time there was like eight to 10 deer just like chilling in one part of the yard. And like usually they move when they see me and the dog like walking around, but this time like they kind of just, I guess they were like tired or they were just resting because they just like stared at us. And like I wouldn't get close, but I would like walk up to like this is the yard, right? Because it's basically just a square. So they'd be like this corner. So I'd go out of the house, I'd walk this way, get to like here, walk this way, get to like here, walk this way. I do my, and I'd count these as like the laps. I did that like 3 or 4 times, and then we went back inside. They were just sitting there the whole time watching us. And I'm like, they probably think we're weird as shit. But yeah, usually there's a couple of deer that are wandering around. I've seen them like jump over the fence between me and the neighbor's house. Yeah. I don't trust getting anywhere near deers though. Yeah, so it's pretty nice. There's also a little skunk that he's not on our side, but there's a small skunk that I'll see pass by on across the street, on the other side across the street from the neighbor's house. That's across the street. I'll just watch him like sometimes at night because they have a little light that shines out on the towards the back end of their house, and you just see him like he'll just be trudging along. And I'm like, oh, there he goes. I think I named him Barry once. I like to randomly name the wildlife. Like today I thought like 3 of the rabbits. There's usually like a good number of rabbits that are around here. Little bums. They're usually like around the fence area. Because they like jump over the fence or like well through the fence whenever like I'm walking the dog. My dog is so blind though. He's literally had like a deer right next to him, and I'm staring at this deer, and the deer staring at me, and my dog's like sniffer, 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 trying to poop, sniffer, sniffer. And nobody got time for none of that sniffer. And I'm like, dog, I guess I should be fine because I should be grateful because he's a corgi, so I don't need him picking fights with things bigger than both of us. Wow, bigger than him.
Welcome, traveler.
I like that. Nature is always cool to be around. Yeah. The only downside is like I'm not too big of a fan of like when you get out of like our neighborhood, because like when we first moved here, there wasn't that like it was pretty packed because we're like the one of the uh we're like just outside of like Nashville. So we're like one of the towns in its like area. So you know, there's a lot of people that were here already who like work in Nashville, but they live here because it's cheaper. And but due to like the COVID, like a lot of people like moved in, and it was so like the traffic here is way worse than it used to be when we first moved in. And then unfortunately, I don't know if it was like a product of like people moving in or whatever, but a lot of like the little like niche places that I liked to eat at kind of aren't as good anymore. Like their quality went down, so I just sit there like feeling like it's not really worth dealing with a lot of this stuff. Cause like the original reason we like moved here, well, my parents moved here. I didn't really have much of a choice. I have no monies, so I go where they go. But but it was because it was like near a major city, but still kind of like far enough away that there wasn't a whole lot of traffic. But then with COVID, that kind of changed. And so now that's being, you know, now that that's no longer a thing, they've been looking for a spot to move. So hopefully we can, I mean, they've been looking for a spot to move for like a year. But it hasn't been going too well because the spots they've looked at, the housing there hasn't been like fantastic. Usually, well, in the case that usually the houses are either too overpriced or it's a case of this build's actually working better than I was expecting. The houses go too fast because since it's a couple states over, we can't like they can't just like jump on it. Granted, there was almost one house that we would have gotten that was really really good, but the person they were dealing with the real estate was like, oh, someone put an offer on that that's like too good, but they didn't tell my parents what the actual number was. And so my parents just expected that it was like a really high number. And then when they found out the value later, when like, you know, all the contract went through, because my mom looks at the stuff, like the websites and stuff, where they say what the closing cost was, it was like within range. Like my parents could have matched the price. Not unfortunate, but generally when stuff like that happens, I just treat it as it was just wasn't meant to be kind of deal. Kind of small doggy. Yeah, it's a corgi mix. I don't know what he's mixed with. I got him from back in university. I had a roommate in the apartment, or I guess a flatmate in the apartment who I knew from like the dorms. So and I moved out of the dorms to an apartment, which was significantly cheaper than living in the dorms, ironically enough. He had a corgi that he brought over that was a female. And he claims he didn't know that she was pregnant. I kind of called BS because it was pretty blatantly obvious as soon as like the dog was there that the dog was pregnant. But he doesn't know like what dog impregnated the dog. And so he very much is, he definitely leans towards the corgi side of things. But he definitely like, he has more legs. Like corgis usually are like loaves with like two little stumps for legs, but like you can very clearly see his legs. He has a very nice like trim to it whenever my dad isn't like feeding him too many snacks. But actually, like I can show it in a second. He's my starting soon screen. Okay, this is the doggo. I don't know which one's better. Maybe the bathroom break one. But yeah, that's him. He has like a lot more leg than most corgis tend to because he's mixed with something. He's definitely mixed with something hurting. Like some other hurting dog. Because like all of his features definitely line up with hurting dogs. But he's very like corgi-esque. He's just permanently in a feed me state. He's also a bit of a princess. What do you got? Melee damage? I don't know. I don't know if like. I don't think dual wielding these will be better than just using the sword for now. I don't care for that. I'm gonna look out for specific uniques. Honestly, he's a lot tankier than I was when I was first playing the old build, so maybe the swap was definitely worth. But yeah, it's kind of funny though because like, he kind of has like, he's gotten more corgi-esque, I guess you could say, as he gets older. When he was younger, you could kind of see the features of whatever he was mixed with a little bit more. But then as he got older, he looked more and more like a corgi aside from his leg length. Because he's basically just a through and through corgi. It's just that like, you can tell he's not a full, like a purebred corgi because there are corgis with tails. Like there's a breed of corgis with tails. I forget which one's which, like the names. Usually the one without the tail is the more common one. But you can be a purebred corgi and have a tail, but their tails are bushier. His tail's like too thin, like the fur. Like it doesn't like puff out like the other corgis do. Like I guess if I had to like give a comparison, like corgis that have tails usually they look like the feather duster, sort of, to some degree. Like it's like kind of like bushy like that. But his is more like a rope. Like it definitely has fur. It's got a lot of fur on it, but it's like very slim. It doesn't poof out. The only part that poofs out is his chest. Like his chest area is very poofy. It's probably like my favorite part. And then you get these very satisfactory scritches from it. Every time I say it, it just makes me want to be like scritchy scritch. It's like a, yeah, it's pretty similar. When they get all puffy. Yeah, that's basically my dog. The worst part though is that he's like a endless production of fur. I hate like trying to like whatchamacallit, brush him in the summer, because like I'll brush him and like to the point where you won't see any sort of like loose fur or anything because corgi, so 2 coats of fur, so it's terrible. And then like a day later he's just, you see like fur clumps that are like loose again, and I'm like, dog, why you do this to me? I thought we were friends. I usually just pluck him like a chicken every once in a while when it gets like too much. The worst part is that like there was a really like there was, what was it? I think last Monday. Last Monday was really nice and cool compared to how it had been for a while. But since I do all the streaming during the weekdays, I don't really have time to like brush him during the weekdays. So I do it on the weekends, but the weekends was like super hot. And so I was kind of sad because I was like, man, it would have been a really, like, if it had been Sunday that weather was like that, it would have been a good day for just brushing him outside. But it's just constant fur at all points. There's no end to the factory of the fur. Speaking of, I need to vacuum my room. It's been a month since the last time I did it. I'm overdue. The only saving grace is he doesn't spend all of his time in my room. He usually spends his time downstairs in the living room with Dad. Because he's like... It's like... Me and Mom are like... my dog's hierarchy is like me, my mother, him, and then my dad. And to be fair, it's just because Dad's a bit of a pushover when it comes to dogs. It's so funny that I try to like hear my dad tell my dog to do something. He just sits there and stares at him. And he's like, what do you want? And then I'll say it like once and he's like, fine, we'll do it. The dog is better. My dog just thinks that my dad's a snack machine. Touch so much fur in your... Oh. I always know that it's like... It's because like it's a bit of a double whammy, right? Because I have a beard and long hair. But like, I always know it's time to like vacuum my room because there's like tumbleweeds of like dog hair mixed with some beard hair and stuff in it. And I'm just like, oh shit. Time to vacuum. Holy shit. It's like a light show. Oh, that was a satisfying stomp. That was a very satisfying smash. Would smash again. How much damage does... Nothing, it just gives me... So I have to like actually get good, get good, dual wield weapons. But yeah, it's like, cause like sometimes, like my dad's kind of like very sensitive to like higher pitch noises. So if it's like storming, right, my dog tends to whine a lot when he's downstairs. And so my dad will try to send him upstairs, and so he'll open the, well, to my room, because my room's on top of the garage, so there's a, you know, you gotta go upstairs, a flight of stairs to get to my room. And so he'll try to send the dog up, and he'll just be down at the bottom, and he'll just be like, go, go. And I'll go over to peek, like over the little like half wall that like is by the stairs. And I'm just looking down, and the dog's just looking at him, and then looking at the stairs, and then looking at him, and he's like, go, go. And the dog is just like, no, I don't want. It's so funny. And like, I was really picky. Like, my dog used to be really like snappy at people when he was younger, and that was like a habit I didn't want him to have. I don't. It's never good to have a dog, like, let a dog be snappy at especially at people. But he would like snap the food out of people's hands very often, and I didn't like that. So, you know, I would do little tricks to get him to kind of give that up. I have a feeling I'm gonna die if I fight this guy. Yeah, no, we're leaving. I don't have to fight him, so we're leaving. And so he doesn't generally snatch the food out of my hand. So I can also kind of recognize when he's going to like try to snatch the food out of my hand. So I like generally pull my hand back with the food, and then he realizes he's like snapping when he shouldn't be. So he gets like real gentle when I'm like holding it. Like when it's me or Mom holding it, he's like really gentle with it. I'm gonna die here. I don't actually know if there's like a... I'm like so dead. I'm so dead. I can't kill all this. Maybe I can make it to the portal. All my years of playing these types of games was for this moment to survive. Oh no, there's not. Oh, whew. That was close. I almost died like I don't know how many times. But yeah, he's only ever bitten like 2 people. Like seriously, in his life. One was me when he was a puppy. He snapped really hard and he drew blood. And that was definitely like the kind of like line in the sand where I was like, alright, this is a problem. And so like I rectified that a lot. And then the second time was deserved though, because I went to go visit a friend of mine and he knew the dog as a puppy, but the dog hadn't seen him for a long time. And so we did the trip over and like we got there at night and my dog was like stressed out because my dog hates being in the car. And like he wanted to grab the dog and carry him inside. And I was like, just let me carry the cage. He's like, no, it's fine. And so he like, you know, shoved his hands in this cage. And like, so in the house, it's basically like, regardless of what my dog did, if he goes in the cage, it's like off limits, right? Because it's like his safe space. So, and that's what I wanted him to treat it as. Like to this day, like, you know, if he's stressed out, he wants to go in the cage because that's just what he's used to, which is good. Makes it easier to get him into the kennel for stuff like for trips and stuff like that. But he wouldn't listen, so I was like, alright, fuck it, on you if you get bit. And so he bit him pretty hard, like pretty fucking hard. Like he punctured the meaty part of his hand. He didn't hit any bone or anything, but it was definitely a pretty bad bite. And I was like, I told you so. I just looked at him like, man, white people, you ain't got like no self-preservation with animals, huh? But aside from those 2 incidents, he's never really bitten anybody else. Like on purpose. Like he might accidentally bite you if he's like, well, when he was snatching food out of people's hands. But it's really funny because like my mom gets a kick out of it because she'll watch like when I give food to the dog and he's like real gentle. Like he's like pulling his lips back and like reaching with his teeth just to make sure that he only gets like the food part and not like not bite my fingers because he knows that he's probably gonna get, you know, bopped with the treat if he does that, or just not get the treat. And but then if it's like my dad, he's like give it, and I'm like, well, Dad, you didn't want to do what I told you. No, it's a you problem. Like you still have all your fingers, Dad. You're fine. But yeah, because he was very bitey when he was a puppy. Though what was really effective was there's a trick that, well, it works on him. I don't know if it would work on dogs that don't have like longer like snouts. Because like I had a boxer, we never really had to worry about him because they're not as like bitey. But that's all. But like what I would do is I'd take like my finger if he would try to bite, like if he got really bitey, and I'd like tickle the top of it, like the roof of his mouth with it, right? So like give him a feeling that he hates, you know, he doesn't like it. And then eventually he got to the point where if I even so much as started doing the movement, he would stop biting because he's like, ugh, no, get away from me. And I was like, there we go. And then slowly he just stopped nipping at things. I got that one from the internet. And I decided to try it out because I was like, nothing is working. Because he's just, yeah, so he really doesn't like it when you tickle the roof. He has like 2 spots he doesn't like being touched. He doesn't like chin rubs, like on the chin. Like he likes, you know, the under the jaw like scratches, but he doesn't like the like on his chin. Like you can rub it for a couple seconds, but then he'll move it. I don't know why. He just really doesn't like it. And then he doesn't like it when you mess with like the roof of his mouth. And then obviously the nose. But the nose is kind of like a no-brainer. I think he can tell that I'm talking about him because he just booped my foot under the desk. one of his, so he has like technically 3 beds, technically 2, because one bed's like the cage that I only let like, I only open it when his paws are really wet, or if it's like thundering, or if it's too hot because it's like plasticky at the bottom, so he stays cool. But he has like an actual dog bed, which is underneath. I have like my desk like here, and then behind my desk is another table that I had when I used to live like by myself, that I used to use as my dining table, which is like a small, like, I think it's like 4 foot by 4 foot square. No, it's smaller than that. Is it 3? It's 3 or 4 feet. It's not too big, but it's not too small either. But I have my tower on it, and then underneath that table he has his dog bed, and he just moved over to it now, and he like booped my foot with his nose. And then he has a, what is it? When my old man decided to be stupid and break his hip, he had to be in like a little twin-sized, one of those twin-sized beds that, whatchamacallit? They like, you know, the hospital ones that, you know, they fold up and whatever and stuff like that. So he had a mattress topper for it because the bed itself wasn't very comfortable. And, but he didn't need it anymore. He's like, I'm just gonna throw it away, and I was like, or I can fold it in half and the dog can have it, and he's like, fair enough. So that's his other bed. It's basically a twin-size mattress topper, like folded in half, with like a sheet wrapped around it, like one of my old bed sheets. Yeah, this dog is a bit pampered, honestly. And even then, all of that, and I think his favorite like place to sleep is still the we have like one of those moving blankets downstairs in the living room, and I'm pretty sure that's like his favorite thing to sleep on. Because it gives him plenty of like blanket space to bunch it up however he likes. It can cost like $2. His favorite toy was a random rope that my dad had in the RV trailer that we used to have. That he literally just cut like a 2-foot length off of it. I had like 2 knots in it. And that's like his favorite toy, period. Aside from like tennis balls. What's up, Zephyr? Yeah. It's always funny because when he gets like, when he gets sassy, then you start hitting, I start hitting him with those like, those you know, like those stereotypical whatchamacallit, stereotypical like parents on TV things would be like, you don't even know what it's like to be rough. You ain't never been out in the streets. You've been indoors, pampered. Every time he gets sassy, I just start talking to him like that. He doesn't know what I'm saying, but he's just like, yeah, give me my snacks. The Freyna grind? Oh, rest in peace. I hope you can get the dungeon piece faster than I did. That shit was painful. I still can't get over how when Zilla offered to help me grind was when I got the last piece for the gun. Alright, I need you to die because I'm tired of you summoning things. Alright, one of these is pretty good. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take that because I like the melee attack speed. Oh shit, that sword actually might have been what was helping me survive in a lot of the situations. Was there a leech on that sword? Oh no, but there was +2 to strength. We don't have anymore. Oh, and I can't put any on. But yeah, you can. Yes. Do I even have strength stuff? I don't think I do. That's not good. We have melee physical damage though. Some of that. Reminds you of PoE? It is in the same genre of games. You're not far off. It's definitely in that vein of Diablo style games. It's probably like it's probably one of the only 3 big like Diablo style games right now. It's like Diablo 4, Path of Exile, and now Last Epoch. You play Path of Exile now? Question mark? Stare? It has co-op. You can play, I think, with up to 4 people. It's extremely similar to Path of Exile. The only thing that's like different would be like the fact that depending on what class you pick, chooses the specializations. But like there's, I think it's like 5 different classes. 4 or 5. Right? There's Wizard, Primalist, Sentinel, yeah, Rogue, and Kabbalist, I think is the other one. And then each one has like a generic tree, and then you have a specialization. Like you have 3 specializations, one of which you can choose to like master, quote unquote. And when you master, you get this ability and you get the access to choose to like get the rest of the passive trees. But like as you can see, this one there's a chain. I can't go past this. I can take everything before that, but I can't go like past this point since I hadn't mastered it. But I can on the druid, and then that's why I have Warbear. Didn't realize you weren't following. Okay. I promise. Promise I wasn't crying in the corner. Those are my tears. Those are Zephy's tears. Escort had you sweating when solo had. Oh, bro. Escorts are tough. The Werebear was a summon? I mean, technically, I mean, I summoned myself. Yeah, I summoned myself in game. Yeah, well, I mean, I can't fault you because, so the interesting part about this, which I really enjoy, so like the Druid has 3 different forms he can transform into. If you master it, you can do the Werebear. And then there is Spriggan form, which is like a treant form, and then Swarmblade, which is like a big like praying, well, I wouldn't even say praying mantis, it's like a bug form with like praying mantis blade arms. Pretty cool. I want to do a build around it at some point. But you can connect the abilities together. It's one of the things I love about this game. The Werebear has a swipe on it, and then that swipe pulls from this tree, the actual swipe ability, so it looks very similar depending on, like, regardless of which form I'm in. Because I'm technically using the same attack, and it's got a couple other ones, and the other ones play the same. What do I mean, your tears? Didn't you just say you were crying about Freyna? You literally had Freyna grind with tears. Zephy. It hasn't even been 5 minutes, and you already forgot that you were crying. Man, you see what I got to deal with? You see what I got to deal with, man? Can't believe this. Not only is he thirsty, is he the thirsty Zephy? He literally sheds tears and then goes, "What do you mean crying? Ain't nobody crying." Bro. On God. Zephy. That's a new low even for you. Shaking my head. I thought you had evolved into a higher form, and now like we're just going backwards, Zephy. Where did we go wrong? Oh, my heart aches. I can't handle this betrayal of my expectations. Zephy will forever be haunted by the one time he chose the dialogue option in a video game. Will forever haunt him for the rest of this, well, as long as I stay streaming. For as long as I stream. Look, that's what you get when you choose the romance option in Cyberpunk, okay? And then choose the saucy tank option, alright? That's not my fault, that's your fault. You brought it upon yourself. Didn't know? Very likely. Likely story. The jury finds you guilty, and so does the judge. Oh shit, that's spicy. Yeah, I played what was it? I think it was like last year. I played Cyberpunk, and I was debating whether or not to like romance one of the characters, and so I left it up to like chat, and Zephy's like, romance the character, and I was like, alright, fine. And then like there was a scene where I was like, I don't know what to choose here, and then Zephy chose like an option and ended up to some saucy scenes. He claims he didn't know, but honestly, the jury has decided that we don't believe him. The council has decided that Zephy was indeed aware of the implications. Which character was it? The drifter chick or whatever they were. The nomads? Yeah, nomad. Like the nomad girl. To be fair, I probably would have like romanced her every time. Yeah, Panam, there we go, that's the name. It's been so long since I played. Yeah, I would have romanced her anyway. She was too good. She was just too good. A woman after my own heart. Hey, which one of you fuckers is dealing so much damage? Holy shit. Ain't no way you res the bone golem. I just finished putting that in the ground again. Like realistically, I think like if I'm trying to remember like the characters, and I think Panam is probably the only character I'd romance in Cyberpunk. Personally. I don't remember any of the other characters with me being like, oh, maybe. Even though I do want to do another Cyberpunk playthrough. But I think I'll do it after I can afford to get the DLC that came out. I heard good things about the DLC. It's kind of like Elden Ring. I've been wanting to do another playthrough of Elden Ring for a while, but I'll just wait until I can get the Urge Tree DLC. Bonk. Yeah, I think Jade played it. Someone I know played it and they said it was really good. Phantom Liberty, I think is what it's called. So in the beginning of Elden, I mean, look, I put, how many hours did I put into it? I think I put like 80 hours into Elden Ring because I wanted to like play everything. I don't have it installed at the moment because disk space, teehee. 83 hours. Yeah, I put 83 hours into my first playthrough. Because I tried to do as much as I could. I think I was able to kill almost everything I could kill. In the one playthrough, or at least like the major bosses. I fumbled one of them because I messed up on one of the... I didn't know to do one of the quests. Unfortunately, so... Oh, I need... Like, I've been running around and I forgot to put these points on. But, I've been wanting to do another playthrough for a while now. I did a two-handed axe playthrough. I think originally it was supposed to be like a Radon playthrough with the Radon swords, but the movesets were so like they weren't very good for most of the fights, and I didn't feel like investing as much into the sword into swords, even though they looked really cool. I went for like a two-handed axe instead. And so that was pretty good, but I want to try a spear build at some point. I don't know if I want to do a twin spear or not, but Elden Ring is really fun. Elden Ring is really fun. I really liked it. Big axe, a very big axe. I have always done, let's see, Dark Souls 1, I played Dark Souls 1 the most amount of times. But I think the first time I beat Dark Souls 1 was with this Zweihander. And then I think the second time I beat it, I used the Colossal Sword instead, because it looked like the Berserk Sword. Dark Souls 2, I think, was also Zweihander. Dark Souls 3, I got like partway, I don't remember what weapon I was using. I got like partway through it, and then I got sidetracked and never went back to finish playing it, so I should probably add that to the backlog. And then Elden Ring, I did like a two-handed axe. It was really fun. When's the full May playthrough for Elden Ring? Where's that coming? I'm ready to see the pro strats. Gotta actually play the game. Noob strats? Ain't no way. If May is a noob, none of us are pro gamers. Actually impossible. I suppose with 5 points in here. Oh. It's 8 points, 1 point, 1 point, 4 points. Wait. 8 and 14. How the fuck did he get 15? What? What? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm so confused. It says at level 15 we put a point here, but you can't put a point into this until you get to 15. Am I tripping? What the fuck? Wait, can you put it? Fuck it, we'll find out. I guess we'll find out. Only Souls games you cleared was Dark Souls 1? I never finished clearing Dark Souls 3, but in my opinion, Dark Souls 1 is the best one, so that's the best one to clear. Thumbs up for me. Grab your right. Yo. Do you have enough to share? I say as I like had eaten a plate full of rice for dinner already. You know, there's always space for more. Only wow. He's gonna just hard waste away. Cold, cruel world. This cold, cold, cruel world. Watching us just wither away. Or takes over rice. Woe is us. Ah, it's fine. I'll just sell Zephy for food. It works out. Don't need that anymore. Keep that for now. This goes on. Pick out. Hey. Oh my good lord. Someone pulling up a double shot. Everybody at the top. Oh, I forgot to check out the new league info for Path of Exile. Or the teaser, I mean. Or something. Apparently people know what's gonna come. I hope the next league's like, well, supposedly the next Path of Exile patch for the update for the next league is supposed to have like the melee like rebalancing. We'll see how that goes. But I'm really just hoping that really hoping that I can get some enjoyability out of it. I was really hoping to do more of the league for this last league, but I really just didn't like the way it was like balanced. Definitely tanky. Definitely tankier than the last build we tried. I should check if I have the burb. We can see what that looks like in game. And I'm just hoping that hopefully if tomorrow and Friday we can keep like getting through through the Apex weeklies like we did today, because today we churned through a lot of them, like a lot of them that we started like basically from scratch. Then I think we can probably hit 100 by Friday on the BP, because we're at like 83 now, which means that we can probably get to 110 pretty fast and next week, which then means that I can do like last epoch during the day probably, and then do like Zenless Zone 0 at night. So they need to grind Zenless. I need to get back on that so I can get Ellen before she leaves. I'll stay over there. Let me, just let me ask real quick. I'm so confused. But I guess we'll find out when I level up, but I swear that you can't like... Like, can you put a point? Like, I swear you can't put a point into it until you're... Oh, fucking hell. We'll find out. I wonder what the internal cooldown for the idol that gives me ward is. Oh, birdies. I'll teach you a lesson. Oh, I don't think I've heard the bird animation in a while. That thing sounded... It sounded like it was in pain. It didn't sound like it was having a good time. Alright, this turns it into the physical one. So that'll buff us in the physical. This one, yeah, it was invigoration. Grab saber too. I still kind of wish that when you like respec points, it was just got the points back, but that just is what it is. Did I say you could res? Yeah. You know, I find it kind of amusing how when I finally decide to like just take a season off from Apex is when they decide to do the BP shenanigans. To be fair though, from what I read, I think they're giving like next season's BP, like the premium one, away. Like a way to get it for free, if I remember correctly. But I doubt people are gonna give two shits about that. I don't think people are gonna like the new BP system. At least from for the aspect of I think people won't like that you can't buy it with the coins. That doesn't pay for itself. I think people really wouldn't care about most of the BP changes if it wasn't for the fact that they can't use coins to buy it anymore. Yeah, see, like, you can't click on this without being 15. So how in the hell does this build expects you to be at 15 points into this? I'm so confused. Because the build literally says 8 points here, 1 point here, 1 point here, 4 points here, and then 1 point here. You can't put a point in this until you hit 15. Bruh. Shaking my head. Good old max roll. It's because like there used to be like this used to have another point added to it, but they took that out. There used to be like here, and then this used to be like a little further over, but that's no longer the case. Actually, maybe it was. No, I think it was like a little bit before it. To be honest, I'm about to just take this. The problem though is that with the way the build is, since it's off by 1 point, it means it's off by 1 point for the entire build. Is the problem. Because it wants 4 points into this. .5% per point. 1.5%. That's oh shit. If you heal for 100, you heal for 1.5. Trying to decide if I want to grab like the bleed or just take. What is like the increased melee damage? Yeah, I don't understand how If their stuff is pulling info from the game, like how it even allowed them to do that to begin with. I think it just raised the... Yeah. Alright, now though, let's not like... stand in the continuous ticking damage. It does feel nicer when I can't just like shove a boss around. Like ironically enough, you would think being able to like just manhandle a boss would be good. It's not. Not for melee at least. It makes it really hard for being able to position yourself properly. If the boss is just always like sliding around like a hockey puck. They said it was an endgame build, but so far it feels pretty good. Fuck. I was hoping that would be the, Wait, no, is it cleaver an axe? Oh, it is an axe. Explains a lot. Get some more health out of that, that'd be nice.
Hurry, I'm afraid you'll have to use it. I'll take that as a yes. Get to the raid.
Time to yeet or something. I don't think this... Yeah, no. We don't deal elemental attacks. I thought it might have some physical damage attributed to it, but it doesn't. Like some physical melee damage percent up. But it does not. I need to try to like keep looking at the there is a one-handed axe unique that I got a lot of before. That I got pretty often. I don't know what the minimum level. It requires level 27, so we should be able to get it. If there's any other uniques that we can obtain, like earlier. Oracle amulet. Fair enough. I just need to prioritize health regen idols. Simple enough. Right.
You washed up safely. It's seen problem. Yes, I'll only slow you down.
Stop
Please, go on without me.
trying to. There's a ripple on the tide. Holy shit, poison and bleed. Painful. There's a man beacon. Come on. Too bad the Maelstrom like production is tied to the Warbear and not the not to swipe. My poison resist is so good right now. Yeah, my poison resist is at 8%. I need to fix that if I can. Poison resistance. Ace is at 16% now. Alright, 20%. Not the best, but it's still it's acceptable. It'll keep us alive slightly longer. This area has a lot of poison. Oh my god, the poison just destroyed me. The killing blow may have been fire, but that's not why we died. We died because of all the poison stacks. Ah, this game is brutal for fucking melee, honestly. That's one of the downsides to most like Diablo style games. I think, to be honest, that's probably the only thing from Diablo 4 that I would say they nailed correctly. Is that I don't feel that punished in most of the fights. There are some fights that I feel really punished for being melee. But there's definitely a lot of fights where I don't feel like I'm gimping myself by being melee. I have 6 stacks of poison just out of nowhere. Like, I don't have enough regen for that. And it's a problem that most, I'd say, like, honestly, I think Diablo is like probably the only like game like this I've played where being melee just didn't feel bad. Could you do better if you were like ranged? Oh yeah, for sure. Depending. There was definitely some melee builds that were really strong. But like PoE, for instance, I just feel like I'm just shooting myself in the foot by playing melee. And then in this game, it's not as bad, but it's still pretty close to a certain degree because, like, for instance, a lot of the regular mobs, just even through the campaign, just they apply all sorts of like different debuffs and shit, whether it's like ignite, poison, bleed, armor shred, like stuff like that, that when you're ranged isn't really like too big of a deal because you can kite things pretty good, but when you play melee it is extremely punishing. And it's like, it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough. It's why, like, a lot of times in these types of games, you see more and more people play, like, squishier builds that do a lot of damage. or like dodge builds. Stuff like that tends to be really popular whenever you're in a game that, when you're playing melee, in a game that feels really hard to play melee. Because it's like, well, if your defenses don't do shit, which to be fair, it's mostly just because we're just low level in this case. But I played some other Diablo style games where it's like the trend is any class that doesn't have a way to ignore damage somehow, whether by dodging, if that's like a mechanic in the game, whether that be through dodging, shield generation, stuff like that. People generally don't play it. Because it's like, why would you play something that you have to try to figure out how to like recover the damage taken versus just not getting hit to begin with? Because it's kind of the dilemma in these games, is that like, it's like, should it be more dangerous to be melee? I mean, like, that's just normal. It's normal for any game you play, whether it be like something like this, an MMO, you know, stuff like that. When you're generally fighting things that are stronger than you, being in melee is a danger. But usually there's a bit of a trade-off in the fact that usually the melee characters are tankier, so they should be able to eat the damage better and have like stronger defenses. But in a lot of cases, what ends up happening is it's just a really big detriment because you lose damage uptime, right? Like if you have a pack of scorpions and they apply 20 stacks of poison when you're in melee range, the answer to dealing with them is don't be in melee range. But when you have an entire archetype is be in melee, well, it then becomes really hard to not be in melee. And like, to be fair, like this game isn't like super duper complicated in like itemization, but I do feel at least like early on, it's incredibly difficult to like clear yourself defensively for the amount of like damage that you have to deal with in the game. Oh, and they reduce my poison resistance on top of that. Oh, that's even better. I didn't realize that. So they stack poison and then they reduce my poison resist. Huh. Interesting. That feels a little scuffed to deal with at this early on in the game. Not as scuff as dealing with, you know, armor shed at level 10. Or level 15. I forgot what that was. It's still pretty low level. Basically a level that you have like next to no armor. And now all of a sudden you have ranged like enemies that each of them just applies armor shed. It's a bit of a difficulty leap. I just find it so interesting how like PoE was kind of like it's like Diablo, so it's like a lot harder. Like it's like Diablo 2, so it's a lot harder than like Diablo 3 was, right? Because Diablo 3 was pretty much a joke for difficulty through the campaign. As long as you had like equipment from, you know, the bosses that you fought and stuff like that, then you kind of didn't really care. Or like you didn't really have to worry about the campaign all too much. Like it wasn't as big of a deal. Judgment arrived, don't care. Okay. Okay. And then for PoE 2, for PoE, and I almost said PoE 2, even though there will be a PoE 2. For PoE, it was like the campaign was pretty brutal, especially like early on. It's not so bad now because of power scaling and stuff like that. But none of these are very good. I don't think the ward's doing too much for us, so I'll do that just to get the physical resistance. More poison resistance. I'll get the necrotic resistance for now. Your blessing. But like, so PoE's like campaign was pretty brutal. But like, it's usually, to be fair, it's like more brutal towards like after you get into the second part. Part 2 is really where the tutorial takes its like pretty big step up. I always find that funny when like newer players play Path of Exile, and when you talk to like players who've played Path of Exile a lot, we tend to refer to the story as like tutorial. Because it's basically what it is. It's just one long tutorial. Because it's like trying to teach you resistances and all that kind of jazz, but it's kind of easier to get your resistances in Path of Exile though, because you have like a lot of the well, first of all, you only have what, 4 resistances? You have fire, lightning, cold, and chaos. So it's not like here where I have fire, lightning, cold, physical resistance, because physical is tied to armor in Path of Exile. Poison, necrotic, and then void, right? So we have like 3 more resistances that we need to cap out on for the most part. And it's just like, and then armor is also important. Like, there's a lot of like moving parts for the defenses in this game, and it feels really hard early on to kind of like keep as much of it capped up as you can, to the point, like in a point that it doesn't make you feel extremely paper thin as I don't know, a giant walking bear the size of a Mack truck. Because like it felt fine, but then like before, like right, we went through the boat and we didn't really like have any real problem. The only issue we had with this was when I basically ended up aggroing half the map. That was a bit of a problem. But aside from that, we were fine. But like then we got to this zone with all the poison, and because like my poison resistance is in the floor, it's and apparently they can lower my poison resistance. It's like it's pretty bad. And so like my tanky bear doesn't feel like it can tank shit. But that's just because like it feels rough to get the resistances up to where they need to be. Which is really weird when you consider the fact that like when I played my Falconer last cycle, you know, when they released for 1.0, like my Falconer by and large was like probably like my strongest build, and it was down a slot because I had to be unarmed to make use of the unique gloves that I had. But like it was extremely tanky. It just didn't care. What do we have here? 10 strength, 125 armor, 40 mana, 12 lightning resistance. I mean, sure. Motherfucker poisons. Why'd you have the poison, bro? Why'd you have the poison? Making me cry. The body armor will probably be pretty good for us though for a bit. Right damage, rainy damage, there's any good. Yeah, the rest of it's kind of useless. Yeah, I want this because it's 10 strength. 4 more strength, a shit ton more armor. We lose a decent amount of lightning resistance, but I don't think that's too bad. Or necrotic resistance, I mean. I don't know, just it feels so far it feels a little similar to PoE where it's just like playing melee feels like I'm kind of just trolling myself. A little bit, unfortunately. Which kind of sucks. Go full into that. This I think is 3 or 4? 3. And this one is increased chance to stun enemy. But yeah, it's just like it feels kind of rough. Cause like when I was playing Falconer, it was really easy. So part of that was also dealt with the fact that the Falconer abilities were abnormally powerful. They were a little overtuned, though. From what I've seen, it doesn't seem much weaker than it was. Rampage is still kind of buggy. The part that sucks about Rampage is that if you hit a wall, it just stops. So sometimes if you hit like that little rock, right, you can't keep going. And then part of it is like kind of a pain because you can't turn while you're using it. Yeah, I was originally planning on that when I got caught up on like Apex BP. I was gonna swap to like a JRPG, but I should probably do Zenless grinding. Probably grind Zenless so that I don't like since that banner rotates. I also need to do First Descendant, but I don't know when we'll play First Descendant. We have too much shit going on. I don't know, maybe for my birthday stream next month I'll do like some First Descendant grinding. That's like towards the end of the month. I need to figure out what I'm gonna do for my birthday. I think it's like a Tuesday this year. Maybe I'll do a 12-hour stream. I don't know. I don't think I did anything special for my birthday last year. I think I just streamed like my normal hours. And I might do a 12-hour one. Or a 10-hour stream. You know, a little old. Can't be, I get tired. Want to sleep all day. Yeah, so we're only gonna put 3 points into this because since they have a point off, I don't know what they're gonna do with the build, but since they're off by a point, we're gonna have to just make do. To be honest, I probably should have done the HP. I might just respec a little bit and put the point into the max HP one, just to give us a little bit more HP. That's not a whole lot, but I think it's still good enough. Okay, I think the regen from the passive is slowly starting to like overcome the difference of the dot damage at the moment. I don't remember him summoning like ice dudes. Oh, that's so good though. We could basically stay in bear form if we're fighting a boss. Bear form, ooh haha. Oh wait, right, I wanted to put the... What does the bird look like? Has it got an editor account yet? It did. That's a lot smaller than I was expecting. We'll save it for, There's gonna be pet augments? Bro, can I make my iguana be like... I don't know, like, he's got a little tongue sticking out, bro, that's... Honestly, the iguana is the best pet in the game. You can't even change my mind on that. Cannot change my mind on that. This derpy little son of a bitch. I love him. I love him. Need strain. But I plan, when I get the, well, I require a unique, but once I get there's a unique that basically turns my werebear into like a polar bear. And makes it do cold damage. When we get to that we're probably gonna swap over to that instead of physical damage. But I don't think I can get that anytime soon. I think that's like towards the end. I remember getting one on my whatchamacallit. When I played the last time we played? The last time I streamed this in 1.0? I definitely remember getting the chest piece and holding on to it. So I was like, oh, polar bear mode for the werebear. Interesting.
Impossible.
I'm just trying to stack a bunch of terrain. Unfortunately, we don't get any healing from Maelstrom. Kind of sucks. A little bit. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Back with food. Welcome back. I have plate. I'm ready for noms. Please and thank you. Would you look at... Ain't no way. Bro, I can't believe this. Oh. They left our toaster in the oven. She's gotta go get it. Goodness gracious.
Now, it's time for the oracle. Hey now, I've seen
Meeting in the dead of night. Yeah, yeah. You have to have a powwow deep in the night to plan your the walking route for your goldfish. You know, gotta make sure the route is very very well planned out. I want to get lost. I am getting roasted here, bro. What is going on? Oh. Sheesh, Louise. You know, I should probably look into like downloading a basic loot filter so I don't have to like worry about that like items with like crappy mixed stuff. Oh, the ninja skellies. Shaking my. Wait, so you got rice, but what, like, is it just like rice or is it like fried rice? Like, what kind of rice are we talking about here? I need to find better weapons. Made fried rice? Hey, yo. Goodness gracious. With crab? Oh my god. We're premium tonight. That makes me sad because I now remember the Chinese joint that I used to get, like the combo fried rice. Oh, that was so good. And it was one of those that it like, most of the times the combo fried rice is just like chicken, beef, and shrimp. But this one had chicken, beef, shrimp, pork. And their pork, oh my god, it was so good. But it was one of those cases where, yeah, unfortunately, like the chef changed or whatever, and then it wasn't as good. Oh, he does poison on him. That's kind of rude. So now the only form of fried rice I get is whatchamacallit. I get the Costco here has like this Japanese fried rice that you can toss in the microwave. Pretty good actually, to be honest. But you know, sometimes I want something different. I could just make my own fried rice. I used to, but kind of lazy. I thought I died for a second because like my character disappeared. I was going to be sad.
Let's see.
I think I've died like 3 times on this character already.
She told me.
Alright, so now we have to go over here. Why do we get it?
They were the same. Content to slither through the shadows.
Hmm. You go 8 points into the attunement. Seven points into this. And then after that, I guess we finally go into the druid tree. Making a lot of fried rice lately. I have so much rice. That's fair. We usually have a lot of rice too. Like I just put, I think we made another 4 cups of it. I had to like store away. I have this weird thing where it's like I have this theory that depending on what you ate when you grow up, kind of like affects how you feel when you're older. And if I go too long without eating rice, my stomach feels bad. And so it's like at first my mom thought I was crazy when I told her this theory because it always happened. I'd feel bad. Because like the way it works is you say you feel bad. Mom makes sopa, which is like a real brothy soup, which is just like chicken, vegetables, some ham or sausages or both. She'll put like all different sorts of stuff for like the vegetables in. I think recently she's gotten putting in like pumpkin squash something. I don't know, I eat it, it tastes good. But like whenever we make sopa, we always make rice because one of the big things growing up, especially because my mom, that's what she likes, is like the soup with rice, like the brothy soup with the rice. And every time, like, you know, we'd be like, oh, we feel bad, Mom makes sopa, then we make rice, and then all of a sudden, bada bing, bada boom, everybody magically feels better. And so I had a theory. I was like, I feel like we've eaten so much rice that if we don't eat rice, our bodies don't feel good. My mom thought I was crazy until like recently, because we started to just make rice like all the time here because it's just easy to, you know, you have rice, you can make like 20 billion things with it. And recently, like, she's been like, you know what, you're onto something, because they recently went to go visit my brother and his wife's family, and she was talking, like, my brother's wife was talking about how whenever she feels kind of like not very like her stomach starts feeling weird, if she eats potatoes, she feels better because she's Irish, so she grew up eating a lot of potatoes. And I was like, you see, I know what I'm talking about. I'm not crazy. Okay, I'm like slightly crazy, just not in regards to this. So like ever since then, I always make sure to eat like rice at least like once a week if I can. Weirdly enough though, I've been trying to like, I used to eat a lot of salad, but after a while the salads were kind of making my stomach not feel too good, and I thought it was because, originally thought it was because the salads themselves were like bad quality. But then like I stopped eating them, and then I was fine, and then I started eating like a different like salad thing that was like, it's like cabbage, it's not like lettuce, it's like cabbagey. And then it's the same thing again. Like my stomach feels weird after I eat it. So I think I'm just not engineered to eat salad like much of it all. Which, you know, I'm not really gonna complain. I have rice. Rice is all I need. You don't eat anything but rice in this life. Well, I mean, potatoes are good because then you get like tater tots, French fries. Right, potatoes are also really good. German potato salad, one of my favorite things ever. It's so good. Like a vinegary potato salad. Love it. It is delicious. Bit of a pain to make though. Just a little bit. Takes a lot of prep work. Dance with the God. But yeah, I don't know why. It's just like the salads when I eat them, they don't sit well with me. And at first I like kind of attributed it to like, well, maybe it's like what I eat with it, right? Because I'm not gonna lie, I don't like salad like at all. I can't eat salad without like some sort of dressing, whether that's like blue cheese, ranch, honey balsamic, something like that. So I'd usually put the dressing, and then I'd put I saw him like walking. I thought he was walking towards me, and so, and then I'd eat it with meat, like whatever's like on hand, whether that's chicken, it could be chicken, pork, like whatever, right? And so I thought maybe that was the problem, but regardless of what I'd eat with the salad, it would always just like upset my stomach, and I don't know why. And it wouldn't be for long. But it's just like, I don't know. I've just accepted the I mean, I still eat it just because it's like, it's easy to have like a bag of salad in the fridge, right? You don't have to cook it or anything. You just toss it in a bowl, put some dressing in it, put like some cheese and some like chicken in it, and you're good to go. But it's just like, I don't know. It's weird. My body's weird. I think it's just because I grew up eating way too much rice. Because like I was sitting down and recounting, like when I was talking to my mom about like Yeah, no, I think I have to eat like rice after a certain amount of time, or else I just feel bad. And then like we sat down to remember like how much rice we would eat like when I was growing up, and she was like, "Oh wow." And then she had the same thing. If anything, she ate more rice like growing up than I did. Like for in her household when she was growing up, rice was like a part of every meal. For us, it was like 4 to 5 days out of the week. But you know, that's like 2 or 3 days difference. But we would have a little bit more variety. And my mom was one who she would always have like sandwich stuff in the house because my brother was like a picky eater. So if he wasn't like, if he didn't want to eat it, mom would just point at the sandwich and be like, "Well, make yourself a sandwich because I'm not cooking something else." Unless we had rice on hand, because then she would like fry him eggs because he would eat like rice with like fried eggs and like ketchup. I could never do that. But that's more so because I don't like ketchup that much. I'll eat ketchup on like a hot dog. That's about it. I'll eat it on a hamburger too if it already came on the burger, but I won't go out of my way to put ketchup on my burger. If that makes sense. But that I just blame growing up in Texas. I spent like roughly probably like half of my life in Texas. And in Texas, like a standard burger is like mustard and mayonnaise. Or like the standard toppings. So I just got used to that. Or just mustard depending on where you're at. The sound this bear makes when he slaps something is very satisfying to me. Do not ask me why, I do not know. I just know I hear the whomp, 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 and I am like, yes, yes, yes. There's 2 strength. Oh, 2 strength increased physical damage? Bro, we're in business. We're gonna keep that? I mean, I don't think we'll be using it by the time we get the other. But yeah, I don't know. I'm very much like in these last couple of years, I've kind of like gotten real picky on oh, level 54. Yeah, that'll be a while before we go. I'm like paying attention to how my body reacts to things, which to be fair is it should be normal for everybody, because it's really not that difficult.
3. No, when she told me it'd take the courage of a Ruby Nagasa, I didn't expect.
In my opinion, like I've never liked the pre-made like workout plans from like trainers and stuff, so I would always just make my own. Like I would just physically go to the gym and then use the machines, and then I would pay attention to what machines made me feel better, and then I would just keep using it. Because a lot of times some of those exercises, they just don't work for people. Fitness is not a one size fits all kind of thing, as much as some people on the internet would like everybody to believe so they can sell their stuff. It is a very like, I mean, it's like an engine, right? You gotta like you could have like 3 cars with the same engine and they'll have like different minor quirks each. I learned that like pretty quickly when I took the mechanic course back in high school. Because we would fix like the teachers' cars and stuff. And we had 3 teachers who each had a Ford Focus of the same year. Like everything was exactly the same. They had stock stuff, same year, different dealers, obviously, but like dealerships. But like there was no custom packages or anything. And the way they would react to stuff, like each of them had to put like different like fuel percentages in their focuses because it would feel different and stuff like that. And a lot of times it's due to like how they use it, right? Because we can't control, like, I can't control every variable, like, right? Like, I'm sure some of them like drove more than the others, etc., etc. But like, they would have like similar issues, and the solution to all three, I remember it was so weird. The solution to fix the issues they had was different for every car, even though the issue was pretty similar, which was like slow acceleration. Like slower than normal acceleration. Oh, that's a boss. And it was completely different fixes for all three because the origin point for each was different. Usually if you have like acceleration problems with an engine, then like the first thing you should check is your spark plugs. A lot of times it's the case is that you have a spark plug that is like gunked up, so it's not like it's not igniting properly. The spark's not coming out at like full strength, so you're not getting the full combustion. But it tends to be the problem, because my mom's van has that issue. It's always funny. Well, I don't know if the new one has a problem. The old one, that was always a problem. It was always really funny because like it was like my parents would forget, because my mom would be like, oh yeah, around the time when the spark plug should be wearing out, because my parents tend to travel a lot, like especially growing up because military family. But she'd be like, oh yeah, it feels weird when I hit the gas pedal, right? Like the ignition was like, or like the acceleration was off by a bit. And I'd be like, it's the spark plugs. My dad would be like, no, it's not. I'm like, Dad, it's the spark plugs. Like, this is before I took the course. Like, I took the class. I took the class my senior year of high school. Because my senior year of high school, I literally could have failed everything but 2 classes and I would have graduated. It was so weird. It's so funny to be like that far ahead. But, it was always funny because I'd be like, it's the spark plugs. And like the first time it happened, I was like, it's probably the spark plugs, because I had like a general understanding of how motors worked, and like the way that she was describing some of the issues, like my brain was kind of just like, I feel like it's probably the spark plug, because it seems that it's taking the gas, it's just not using it properly. And so the first time, like, it was, my dad tried, I think it was like 4 different fixes, and then like none of them worked, and I was like, could you just check the spark plugs just for peace of mind? Lo and behold, I think 2 of the spark plugs were like, well, one was basically dead, and then the other one was like really gunked up. Because sometimes you'll get like residue from the explosion building up on the spark plug. And so then from then on, I was always just like, it's the spark plug. It's the spark plug. And every single time, it was the spark plug. The only time it wasn't the spark plug was when it was, there was more problems than just, oh, the car feels weird when I hit the gas pedal. Like the acceleration didn't feel as smooth. There was one time where it was like the acceleration fell off and and she had a hard time like steering, and that was a couple different issues with that one. And it was just like, it always just cracked me up though, because every single time they would forget, I'd be like, change the spark plugs. Dad would be like, it's not the spark plugs, and then lo and behold, it would be the spark plugs. Except the only difference is that since I had evidence, like, you know, when you do a suggestion and then you're right the first time and then you're right the second time, like basically instead of just letting them waste money, I'd be like, could you check the fucking spark plugs first? Just check the spark plugs at the beginning. Before we start buying all this other shit you want to try, just check the spark plugs first. It's also like one of the easiest things to check when your car feels weird for acceleration is your spark plugs. You can just pull them out real quick and just check. Now, it's not always the problem. Sometimes the issue could be the gasket head got like unaligned a little bit and the pistons aren't like lined up properly. Or there could be an issue with the crankshaft. But those are pretty rare problems. Like if you're not like altering your engine, those usually aren't common problems. Even then, replacing a gasket head's pretty easy though. It's literally just a couple bolts moving things. The lining is the thing that people forget to get and put though, which is actually kind of important. Oh, back distance. I don't know, sometimes I miss working on cars. Granted, it's not like I didn't try to find work with that. Oh wait. Sometimes I feel like instead of going to getting an associate's degree in computers and a certificate in welding, I should have just gotten a mechanic thing instead. I thought about it when I was first going for my stuff, my certifications and stuff. But then I was like, you know, welding's. I was always more interested in welding, or pretty interested in welding, so I wanted to do like a certification on that for sure. And then I thoroughly enjoy working on computers, so I was like, an associate's degree would be a no-brainer. Unfortunately, neither of them have done me any. Sedge. Sedge. I wonder if we'll ever actually move from here, though. I definitely don't want to be here anymore, but things aren't lining up, which is unfortunate. That's always like the worst thing when you try to move, is when things don't line up. And in some cases, it's like there's a couple times where I take things as a sign, like when I tried to enlist, and even though I got a really high score on the mock ASVAB, I never got, like, they were supposed to like call me back to set up a to go to this like training thing, because I was like a little overweight at the time for my height, or at least like too much to go into basic training for it. So they had this like program where you join like other prospective like recruits who wanted to like enlist, and it would basically be like you'd go through the exercises you'd have to do for like basic training. They never called me, and like I wanted to go to a different recruiting office, but both of my parents were like, you know, it's probably a sign. My mom was mostly just because like he didn't think I could like not get in a fight with another person, and I'm like, it was really funny because I was just like, mom's like, I don't think you can handle like not punching someone in the face in the military, to be honest. I was like, Mom, I'm not gonna punch a superior, like higher ranked person in the military. I grew up in the military. I kind of understand how it works. And she was just like, no. I wasn't worried about that. I was worried about you punching another like person of your rank in the dorms. I was like, actually, you know, you have a point. I was like, you have a point. And even my dad, which is interesting, because my father was a career military person. Like he had to retire. Like he didn't he didn't leave. He spent the max amount of time he could in the military. But even he was just like, I don't think you would like being in the military with the way it is nowadays, which is a little unfortunate. I think that's like probably one of my only real regrets from being younger, is not at least enlisting for a bit. It would have been more of a pride thing though, which is a dumb reason to enlist. You should always enlist because you want to get benefits out of it, not because of a pride thing, in my opinion. Unless you're gonna be like a career military person, that's a different story. But if you're just gonna go in and out like I was planning, and like my brother did, did my brother re-enlist? I don't think my brother re-enlisted. I don't remember. It's been a while. A generally safe bet is more often than not, if you're going to enlist, you want to go in to get like stuff out of it. Like you want to use like the GI Bill or whatever it's called nowadays, and you know, get schooling done and all that kind of jazz. So that way when you come out, you have stuff you can fall back on. Oh, we don't get the full stacks. Interesting. Berserk. Increased duration.
Hidden so close. The way she
And it was really funny because I think that's part of the reason my dad was like, don't do it. Because I was gonna join the army. I wanted to be a tank mechanic. That was what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a tank mechanic. I still remember the recruiter tried to be cheeky and he's like, well, you can be a combat engineer. I was like, I'm not stupid. Combat engineers are just glorified infantry. You're just infantry with like explosives, basically. And then if you're in the engineering corps, it's kind of even worse from what I've heard with the stuff you have to do. One of the perks about being a military kid is you kind of have like a, you can kind of get a glimpse into what the MOSs like actually do. I had heard some pretty bad stories from the guys who were in the engineering corps. Some of them were like, oh, there's some cool stuff you can do, but most of them were like, yeah, no, there's a lot of useless crap that they have you do. Ooh, health regen, but it has necrotic damage. That's not good. We want health regen and resistances is what we want. Let me in, my friend. Oh, I will say that I am so less Costco though. So like, we got a Costco that there was a Costco. We would have to go over to Nashville if we wanted to go to Costco because there wasn't one here, and so it was always just like we'd have to get up like pretty early to beat the traffic there and back. But they built a Costco like here that had basically everything that we would go over there. Because sometimes even though there's two Costcos near each other, they don't always carry all the same stuff, right? And so the one here ended up carrying like all the stuff. And one thing I've always wanted to do was kind of like do my own trail mix, because when I was growing up, I remember when they first started doing the dried cranberry trail mix. But that shit was expensive, like expensive. I'd always wanted to be like, if we could just find a big bag of like dried cranberries, we can just like, you know, get the sort of like assorted nuts that we like, and then like the chocolate we like, and like do all the mixing ourselves. But I was never able to do it because it just never lined up. Like it was always like just more expensive to like set it up ourselves, mostly because of the dried cranberries, because there was nowhere where they sold like the big bag. We saw it once in like one of the, I think it was when I was still in Texas. There was one time we saw it and then they like took it away and I never saw it again until recently. Recently they brought back the big bag of dried cranberries. So I've been able to make my own trail mix, which is delicious, I must say. Cause at the same way I have a bag of dried cranberries, like a big pouch. And then they had this like Healthy Heart like nut mix, which had like walnuts, hazelnut, almonds, pistachios. I think that's everything in it, which is really good. That's really good. And then I put some dark chocolate in it. And if I do say so myself, I am pretty good at mixing trail mix. Gonna lie? Not gonna lie. Kinda pretty good at it. I get the proportions all good. To be fair, it's not that hard to make trail mix. At least in my opinion. I just put everything in like a gallon Ziploc bag and then I shake it up. It's taken a little bit to figure out how much like of the chocolate to mix into it. Because originally I would mix it like towards the taste of like towards mom, because mom likes the dark chocolate a lot. She likes it more than I do. But basically I'm the only person that really eats it on average. So then recently I've been kind of like tweaking the quote-unquote recipe. It's not really a recipe, it's literally just how much I mix shit together. And I think I have like the correct proportions for what I enjoy. Also, applesauce is delicious. I don't think I'll ever outgrow applesauce. I always find it funny. One of the guys in that I knew in when I was taking my associate's degree, like, literally would not eat applesauce because apparently in his household applesauce is only for children. And my only retort was, I guess more applesauce for me then. Because I could care less. If it's delicious, I'm going to eat it. Your weird age-restricted guidelines have no control here. And I find it really weird when people like age restrict what you can eat. I can understand for health reasons, or to some degree cultural reasons, but like, you're really not gonna eat applesauce just because you're like, oh, that's for kids. Like, bro, it's applesauce. Like, just fucking eat it if you want to eat it. One thing is if you don't like it or the consistency, because that's a different story. I knew people that they couldn't, like, if they tried to eat applesauce, the consistency would make them gag. And I'm like, alright, that's, you know, not a whole lot we can do there. You know? But, like, I don't know, maybe that was the reason? The guy never really explained into it, and I never really cared to, like, learn more about it. 'Cause I just always thought it was a weird reason to not partake of the enjoyment of applesauce. But there are some people that they find stuff like that embarrassing to admit, even though I feel like that's a better reason than I'm too old for applesauce. Not to mention it's a good way to like pep yourself up in the morning. Like, I try to eat either an apple or, like, I get these, I get some applesauce, like this box of applesauce from Costco. And I'll eat, like, one of those packets when I wake up. I would say breakfast, but I don't get out of bed till, like, noon. So it's more like lunch, but it's my breakfast because, you know, I mean, technically it's, like, 10 a.m. Pacific time when I eat it. So it's kind of, it's breakfast somewhere. So that still counts in my book. You know, I say that still works. I say that still counts. But I found out that if I eat like applesauce or like an apple like in the day, my system takes it like pretty good for waking up. I can't do coffee. I don't like coffee. I don't like the taste of coffee. I have to put way too much sugar and stuff into coffee that I feel like it just defeats the purpose. So I just don't drink coffee. Applesauce is for everyone? True. What? Yes, I can't. I don't. The only coffee that I've been able to drink is not the current one, not the peppermint one, but they used to have like a mint chocolate mocha frappuccino at Starbucks like a long time ago. Like, I'm talking early 2000s. That was the only coffee I've ever been able to like drink. And even then it really wasn't like coffee. It was like mint chocolate with some coffee shit mixed in. But yeah, I don't drink coffee. I don't like tea. I've tried tea, I don't know how many different ways. Like, my mom loves tea. Like, she drinks all sorts of teas, and she's always looked up, and I've helped her look up like different little things she can do for teas and stuff. I don't know. To me it just tastes like leaves and water. It just tastes like leaves and water. I've tried all different sorts of ways of doing it. But unfortunately or fortunately, I guess. I don't know, it depends. I just drink water and juice. Predominantly water. Oh, and kombucha, though. They have this ginger... Is it lemon? Where's the bottle? Yeah, they have like this lemon ginger kombucha thing they sell at Costco. Yeah. I drink like one every other day, basically. Well, I try to space it out a little bit so I don't build up. You gotta eat. In my opinion, when you eat stuff and drink stuff, you kind of like need to space it out a little bit so your body doesn't build a tolerance to it. So that way it's still like for the healthy stuff. But like, it's a bit, I guess like icy, I guess you could say. I mean, it is ginger. I don't know. I like it. It's great. I love it. The only person in my house that drinks. Which is funny because my mom likes ginger and lemon stuff. And she tried it and she's like, nah, I'm good. I'm chilling. I was like, cool, more for me. Which means the day that either I move and don't have a Costco near me, like at all, which if we move to where my parents would like to move that's going to be the case. Or the day that Costco finally decides to stab me in the back and, you know, stop bringing my kombucha around, which they've done with like 95% of the other stuff I've liked from Costco. I will cry. I'll be sad. And then I will have to forget of its existence for the rest of my life. Because anytime, the worst thing, right, is whenever Costco brings something and then they get rid of it, and then you find it out like in like the normal stores, it's like way more expensive than it was when it was at Costco, and you could get like, if it was still at Costco, you basically pay the price that you were paying for like an entire box of Costco for like 4 drinks. Like outside of Costco, and I'm just like, bro, this is a highway fucking robbery. So I usually have to like let it go. Like, cause I used to like the buy coconut water stuff. Like I remember seeing those at Costco or Sam's, one of the two, I don't remember, for the first time. And they had like the assorted box with all the different flavors, which were pretty good. I liked the flavors. They had like a pineapple one that I really liked in there. Then I'd drink those last. Oh shit. And they stopped bringing those to wherever I got them from. And then I saw them in the stores and they were so expensive for just a bottle. I think the equivalent was like 2 bottles of oh, that would have been nice. 2 bottles of like the box that I was getting from like, I think it was Sam's, because I think this was like university and I didn't have a Costco nearby there, but I think it was Sam's. But basically it was like 2 for 1. Like 2 bottles, like 1 bottle for the price of 2 from like when I was buying it from Sam's or Costco. And I was like, bro, like it was good, but it was not that good. I need to calm down with that nonsense. Even though I don't think I could drink it anymore. I've lost like the ability to drink sweet things. I used to drink like Dr. Pepper religiously. Like Dr. Pepper is still probably my favorite soda, period. And then I stopped drinking soda like 3 or 4 years ago. And whatchamacallit, I can't, like I tried drinking Dr. Pepper from time to time whenever I get like a combo or something, because there's some places, right, where it's like some things you order in a combo is like cheaper than ordering it like a la carte. And when I tried to drink it again recently, I couldn't. I drank, I think, like half. Like, it was a regular sized cup, and I think I drank like half of it because I just couldn't stand the sweetness of it. And it made me sad. It made me so sad. Mm. Also, it's really weird because I remember one of the things for like weight loss when I was like, that was pretty overweight when I was growing up. I got pretty healthy in university specifically because I had to walk like a minimum of like 3 to 4 miles a day to get to everywhere I needed to go. It was a mile, what is it? Like a mile and a half to get to and from campus to my apartment. Maybe a little bit more than that. Followed by the amount of like distance I had to go because my classes were always like on the opposite side of campus. And it was never like, oh, I go to, you know, I start from one side of campus, right? Like I start from this side of campus and then slowly go from one class to the next. And, you know, I end up on the other side of campus and then I need to walk all the way back. No, it'd be like, my class would be on this side of campus and I'd have to go to this side of campus and I'd have to go back to this side of campus and I'd have to go back. Like it kept ping ponging me back and forth. And like out of curiosity, I like tracked the distance one day of like my shortest day, the day I had like the least amount of classes. And it was like, I think a total of like 3.5 miles is what I walked. And I'm like, holy shit, no wonder I lost so much weight. Then I ate less too, because I didn't eat breakfast at all. But it was really weird because like, whenever like a lot of the lose weight stuff is always like, oh, just cut soda out of your, like soda and juice out of your like diet, right? And you'll lose like a ton of weight. That didn't work for me. Apparently my body can like deal with soda and juice just fine. So that wasn't the reason I was overweight. I just ate too fucking much. But like I cut out soda and like juice for a long time. Like all I literally drank was just water for the longest time. I think like I went like a whole year only drinking like water just to test it. And while I didn't lose weight, I will say I felt better. Speaking of, gracias por el agua. Like I did feel better because my body doesn't like sugar that much, but I didn't start losing like weight until I just started keeping my mouth shut, basically. Because I don't eat too much anymore. I eat like a small meal when I get up, and then I eat like, it's still probably slightly bigger than like what an average person would eat for a regular meal for dinner. And then I try not to eat too many sweets, but sometimes I can't help it. Especially because like my old man, well, both of my parents really like snacking sweets. And, you know, sometimes I succumb to weakness. Oh, like speaking of the Costco here, they have these like little almond cake things that are supposedly French. I don't really know if they're actually from France or not. I don't really care. They are so fucking good. I could sit there and probably eat like half the bag if it wasn't for like what little self-control I have for when it comes to like, but they're just so good. Just thinking about it makes me want to go downstairs and get another one. I can't. It's too late. Too late to eat. I'm in my no eating window. Oh, it's a singularity. Right, I forget you're guaranteed to get one here. But oh my goodness. Like it's like, and then like, I'm pretty sure it was my dad. He got this like box that came with like the mini Oreos and the mini Chips Ahoy's and like, and I'm looking at this box like it's Satan himself. Why would you do that? Why would you do this to me? I may or may not have eaten one of the Chips Ahoy's for lunch and then one of the Oreos for dinner. Just saying. Can't help it. I can't help it. Alright, what I don't understand is why do we... Well, I guess it's because it gives us more mana. Right? The attunement. You need this hat. Hey, doctor. Certified. Yeah, so this has some attunement scaling, so that's why. Building your sin. Oh boy, kinda detox just to retox. And I promise you. Oh, I can't jump off of that side. Another
You, yeah, shot at
shot at life.
life.
Monster thing about trap. Disloyal Order of Water Buffaloes will always be, in my opinion, one of their best songs. That's always a telescopic. Put paint holes in the highway truck. I'm a loose man. But what's Valor forbidden? No, don't play Valo. Escape from the Valo. Okay. Hope the games go well. Get at least like 3 head taps for me, please, and thank you. And then make sure everybody you headshot, you like teabag them just a little bit, not too much. You know, just pretend like you're dodging a shot. That way they don't know. Stop. It's so weird how just like simple slaps are so cathartic. Oh, is this one gonna have something I need? I need to really pay attention to once we hit like the areas of like level 54 or whatever, because the remains will probably have the chest piece we need. So that way we'll be able to... Oh, this one has 2 of them. I may as well. Yeah, you're gonna have a bad day, buddy. Just you and me in this corner and nobody to save you. I'll take the +1 up, people. I just realized, I don't think, like, I guess it's a good thing that we'll swap, but like, the way this build is supposed to work is it's supposed to cast like upheaval. But I just realized I don't think that works without the idols. Which means it's similar to the void shield throw build that I want to do on Sentinel. But it's fine since we plan on swapping to the ice werebear. But I think he like... Yeah, he doesn't proc the shield. That's weird. He bugged. This is the first time I've ever just been able to face tank this dude. Actually, now that I think about it, I think Tech 9 did a song recently with somebody. Probably look into that. I haven't seen any more like weapons. Oh, we don't get shit from that. Oh. That's leech from elemental damage. I forgot about that. Oh, for a second I thought that was the that was the Bruno Mars song, and I was like, when did I add that to this playlist?
Device and get ready.
That threw me for such a loop. I forgot that I added this song to the playlist. That intro is like super similar.
The Emperor, you're overgo. I want out. Hopefully, I will see you soon.
Singularity, I don't know if there's a build that uses it, because every time I use it, I feel like I just deal shit for damage, because you crit pretty often. Or at least it feels that way. Yes. I forget that I now get like Berserk. It's Yeah, I forgot that the leech from gloves from Avarice is elemental damage. It's like it's literally done nothing for us for survivability. I was using it for no reason on this build. I didn't mean to click that, but it worked out. Got some money. I guess it's... Okay. Okay, we're dealing some damage now. I dig it. What I'm talking about? Some tankiness. We'll see how it goes when we run into another part. Because there's another part further ahead that has a shit ton of poison. Oh, oh no. Name on Norwegian, the name magic, oh dear no. I find it so weird because I remember doing a build like this before. Except oh, actually no, the difference is I didn't use Maelstrom at the time. For the extra stacking damage. But I remember trying to do like a Berserker Warcry build. On the Warbear. Because I felt like it was a no-brainer since you casted it when you go into it. Because the Warbear form, when you go to Warbear form, it always does the roar. So with the roar, it means you always get the Warcry Berserk buff off the rip.
Right. And if it weren't for you,
And so,
Dreadnought, or
I tried doing it, and I remember, like, well, I don't know if they changed it or whatever. And I remember, spiking into swipe with the aspect of the Panther and the links and stuff like that. Since that was, like, your default thing. And, like, I remember at least the last time I tried it, it didn't feel that good. Less having media keys on your keyboard. I can't wait for the update where it lets us do like transmog with the in-game armors, because I really like the way the Raptor stuff looks. But like, just never use it because the stats on it aren't very good for the builds I play. Oh, I also remember, I think I was doing like, I didn't build it for like Aftershock, but there's you can make it where Maul uses the Fury Leap tree, and when you do that, you can then make it so Fury Leap casts Upheaval when you cast it. Or maybe I could just make Maul do... I don't know, basically I tried to do a build where it was Upheaval Warbear. Which... middling success. I wish you could like element change Upheaval into like lightning or something. Yeah, because you can do it to cold, but I think like the cold node isn't that good either. I don't have to look into it some more. Because Upheaval's like animation looks pretty cool. We're at 39. I do want to do a Swarm Blade build though. I was watching a little video. There's a guy who, so they did some changes to Swarm Blade, because Swarm Blade I think was like the version that, like the one form that felt kind of lackluster. Because the scaling on it was kind of scuffed. And they did some buffs to it, and so there were some people who were gonna like try it out. And I saw one of the videos of it for like an actual like playing it like now, and it looked pretty cool. So I do want to try that. Though I want to wait and see if we can get the unique pole arm for it, because like it's really cool. I like how all of the druid forms are like connected to the primalist abilities. Because like the Swarm Blade is like connected to the, for sure off the top of my head, it's connected to whatchamacallit. It's connected to the Serpent Strike. I'm mistaken, the like the slash part is. I forget what the other ones are connected to, but like there's a lot of different stuff that's interlinked between, like by default, and then you can link it, which is pretty cool. I don't know, I really like it. That's why I like the transformation ones the most. I like the fact that you can interlink abilities, period, through the skill tree without needing like, because I mean it's like you can do the same thing in PoE, right? Where it's like you can make like cast on crit or cast when damage taken, stuff like that to some degree, but it's like not the same, right? Like how being in Warbear form, just dealing damage gives me a chance to cast Maelstrom. Like stuff like that. Making it so that when I do Maul, I can like cast Upheaval. Because of Fury, like it's like stuff like that I think is really sick. And they like tied it together very seamless. 1600, holy shit. I don't know, I think the skill system where each skill has its own like tree was really a really good idea to differentiate themselves from what else was on the market. And then there's a lot of different things you can do with it, right? They tied like conversions into it. What I like is that they didn't just leave the conversion of damage typing to the tree itself, right? Because you can still get like damage type converting through other means, such as I think some of the weapons do it, and I know there's at least like one idol that does it, if not two that I've seen, where the one that I remember off the top of my head is for Sentinel, there's an idol that lets you convert shield throws damage to void. One will do it to 50%, so you need two of them to get 100% conversion. And I wanted to try to do like a Void Knight shield throw build. So, an Xbox, come on and talk. But yeah, it's really cool. I like it. No spin to win for you. No spin to win. Alright, these axe guys, you kind of have to be careful because they're kind of like the spear guys from earlier, where if there's a lot of them, they're going to murder us. Drive, please. I am the biggest here. Ah, I didn't get to hit him enough times. He was a little too far out of range. And she told me one thing. You might have high stun avoidance, but you can't avoid the roar. You know, I haven't checked out the Pop Goes Punk playlist for a while. Or Punk Goes Pop, whichever. The one where they do like pop songs is like with the punk bands and stuff. I haven't checked it in a while, so I don't know if there's any like good ones. I need to see if there's any like good songs, because I used to eat up those albums when it was like first starting to be a thing, at least on Spotify. Oh, bro, I'd fucking listen to those things all day. That's it. Wait, but we converted it to physical, now we're adding storm. That is it? Hmm. Oh, that's how you would make Stormcall Lightning. Oh, I see. It'd be interesting if like there was a unique or something that made Swipe do Gathering Storm instead. So then you can make like a Volley Bear build. Oh, there's the other players. See, I don't mind it when like there's a like when it does like the PoE style, where you see other players when you're in the hub and stuff like that. I don't mind that. I think that's pretty cool. But I'm not a big fan of the whatchamacallit, of the like the Diablo 4, where it's just like everything's like multiplayer content. Like, ugh. Because the scaling isn't all that great, depending on the build you have.
When he fled, I saw him heading.
I am becoming from the heart of the citadel is beyond.
You have to see
There is an exit near the Emperor's throne, leading you.
Impossible.
finding no reaches. Anything from a wall, right? God. Come on, stay. Oh, see, I don't like that. That there's... That's the Diablo 4 copy. I don't like when there's like... That's one thing I don't like about the evade thing, is I don't like it when it's like attached to items, right? Like, I don't like it when an item gives you more of the evade charges. Like, I feel like you should just have a baseline. This is the amount of evades you can get. There, I don't know, do a system in a quest, or like do a quest in the game or something that can give you another evade. If you want, if you feel like 2 by default, or 1, or like however many you give by default isn't enough. Like stuff like that. But I feel like when it's like something like this mechanic, like an evade mechanic, it should be baseline the amount. Like you shouldn't be able to increase it by gear or anything else for that matter. It should always be every class has 2 evades, every class has 1 evade, every class has 3 evades, you know, stuff like that. Or every build, I should say, not class, but every build has those, right? Because like I feel like it just makes it easier to make it so that things can't be abusable, right? Like I don't like, obviously like having 1 extra evade probably doesn't mean anything, and there's probably no builds that will do a problem, but it's like sometimes like knowing in the back of your mind that it's like, oh well, players can get an extra evade if they feel like their build needs it from items, like is highly detrimental to designing content, because it's like if you understand, like, period. Now obviously you can make sure to like enforce things of like, hey, don't forget that like by default there's only this amount of evades, or it could be, or they can make it the case where it's like every like a specific item slot will always have like an extra evades like charge past a certain level. Like there's different ways to handle it, right? It's just, I just don't like it when items, like part of like a core baseline for an item is, oh, it gives you an extra evade chance. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that, personally. Like, unless that's just a core concept of the baseline of the game, right? Like if every boots, like every pair of boots past a certain level, which might be the case, I don't know. That's the first pair of boots I've looked at this level. But if it's the case that every pair of boots past this level has +1 to evade, cool, fine, that's nice. But if not, then I'm not too big of a fan of that. I kind of like knee-jerked the reaction because Diablo has that. It's got like, I think it's with the ring? I don't know, there's an item in Diablo that gives you an extra, or at least has like an affix for an extra evade or something, and I don't like that. Slap. Oh, I probably should have grabbed that, but oh, that's fine. I doubt it'll give me anything like super useful. Our build feels pretty good right now.
I am Yulia.
Oh.
Once I was high priest.
You killed him? Her? Just a poor girl who cares to... If we pull this off, maybe I can give her some
Oh,
good
nice.
news for once, eh?
You gain mana when you directly use Gathering Storm hit at least. That doesn't do shit for us. Unless there's some sort of weird interaction I don't know about. I find it really weird that like we only go 15 points. Oh wait, no, never mind, because Earthquake is at 15. Okay, that makes sense. I was like, we only go 15 points into Shaman Tree, and then I look over and I realize it's because there's... At 15 is when you get Earthquake. Alright, never mind, that makes sense. I'm still waiting for like when they add the like level 35 skill. Like I have I feel like that has to be like part of the plan, right? That any like mastery that doesn't have a level 35 skill will get one eventually. 'Cause I feel like that's so weird. Like it's not gonna stop me from rolling a shaman. Oh, I wanted to like actually like inspect, dude, what his gear was from. I should probably dump some of the uniques. Wait. Oh, it's because the portal was blocking it.
Impossible.
Hey, these worth keeping. Underground, fighting for our lives. Ground, ground. Oh shit. Not you. Well, actually, I have one. Yeah, it's fine. Ground, ground, ground. Yeah, I think for the most part, most of the idols don't have like a level restriction aside from like the unique ones. Because I want to get the I want to get some of the I want to get the two convert shield throw damage ones, right? Where it converts it to void damage. So that way we can get we can do the Sentinel, like the Void Knight shield throw build. Something tells me that's not going to be very good, but I still want to try it. So I think it has to be a melee hit for it to extend Berserk. Yeah, I don't know what we did, but all of a sudden I feel like a shit ton tanky. I I don't know if it's just the zone change or what I might put on. Put on our new pantalones and they made a super chunkalone. I don't know. I didn't know if like this time up here was like in my time zone or not. Top right. There's Wilson there, like right there. They're right there, and murking them gives me back more rage than it spends to kill all three of them. Oh, it's so nice when you can be in bear form for so long. As I walk around in bear form, it's just like, I'm so pretty. Oh, so pretty. Oh, so pretty and witty and slay. Oh. Wait, come here. Wait, was there always 4? I thought there was 3. Did we kill this one too? Hey buddy, how you doing? Yeah, we lose the attack speed, which is a little rough. But I think we just deal straight up more damage. That kind of like evens out in the end. Man, I have too many games I want to play. No, the attack speed is still like better. The attack speed is still much better. Helps us keep Berserk up. That was very spicy. I was standing inside of his like tornado thing. Like in the actual hit radius of it. It's really interesting that the mob that's like carrying the giant stone, like dragging it with a chain, like actually will deal more damage to you if you're in it's got like the Darius swing effect. Where Darius deals more damage, right, with his the axe spin if you actually hit him with the axe head. But in this case, it's like applied to the enemy, right? Like he's got a rock on a chain, and if you stand next to him, it deals a lot less damage than if you stand like inside the spin where the rock actually spins. It's a really cool little feature. At the very least, that's how it feels like. But it's also like kind of has an outline like that. Like if you watch him, he's got like a more colored in circle, and then there's like the part like right where you're like right on top of him is it's like basically like normal colored, like the regular floor. So it's like a donut, right? I don't know. I like stuff like that. It's a bit of a pain when like you as a player have to like deal with it, but I like stuff like that. Like it's a little harder for a player to aim in certain cases. Like I remember Darius's like X-Spin was really jank for a while early on. Or sometimes even if you hit them, like if you hit them, if they were too close to the part where it wasn't considered the axe head swing, like if they were too close to Darius but not inside like where it should hit less, it would still deal the less damage even when it wasn't supposed to. But it became a form of like skill expression for the Darius players. And then last I heard, I think like nowadays it's like really good Darius players can like flash spin, or they like, you know, they charge up the spin and then they flash, so that way you can't unless the person's like completely expecting you to flash on them and they know the distance for it. It's kind of hard to dodge it. Though to be fair, that also means that you're giving up a flash. But usually for Darius it doesn't really matter, he just kills everything. Kind of his job. I don't know if the magician dudes are worth doing. I just remember I don't enjoy doing them because they teleport too much. They piss me off on melee. Do I have anything good? Oh! I've never had those guys before, so I want to try them. Poor guy, he's getting like bullied in a corner. I think that's cool though. I like that. Gracias por el agua. Hope Valorant's been good for you. Increase? Oh. Like that. Just a bomb. Oh, that's the only part I care about this one. I realized, I think yesterday actually, that this playlist is playing right now is my playlist of songs I put, like, I like and I put together. I think it's about to be my largest playlist. Because usually around like 80 to 100 songs on a playlist is when I tend to swap to, like make a new playlist, because usually like I'll have songs that I want to listen to more, but because of whatchamacallit, since I use this for streaming, I've kind of just been letting it grow more and more. I think it's like almost at 200 songs now. I think it's like a 190 something. Because that way it just gives me something nice to like just play on stream when I don't feel like playing the lo-fi saxophone playlist. Which I very much enjoy listening to the lo-fi saxophone playlist, especially at night. Kind of helps my brain calm down a bit. So I'm not just like cha-cha sliding on my bed. Being with the last like song that I listened to stuck in my head. I have lost the ability to listen to music while and falling asleep to music because I'll hear a song and then I'll just be like cha-cha slide. Yeah, bust a move. And then my brain doesn't go to sleep. Doesn't like sometimes even the lo-fi songs I have that problem.
Do not look.
You should have seen this. Yes.
I've heard of your power. Let's see how you face this.
Oh, it's so good. Since he can't get like scooted around like he used to, I could fight him without aggroing this boss. Dude, okay, his shield isn't bugged this time. It's interesting that his shield was bugged when we fought him the first time. Also, usually she dies first because she has like no HP. But since we don't have a whole lot of cleave, it's just she's dead last now.
Now's our chance. Use Herot's
Since I don't have like any like big AoE cleave, and she stayed away from us, and we were able to like fight the two bosses solo. It was pretty good. Pretty good. Alright, this is where the game starts getting spicy though. Because this is where mobs really start hurting. A lot. This is kind of like the equivalent of like part 2 in PoE.
Wait, I recognize these mountains. I must hurry.
Okay, we chose the right way. Very nice. Do a tune map. Like this would have been great to have, but unfortunately, like none of it's like good for us. I don't really think it's worth empowering the like the Harbinger stuff. Unless you're in like monoliths. Oh, we're actually like behind him level. I thought we were still like a little bit ahead of the map level. Funny looking griffin with no wings. Bruh, the rampage is so jank. Like, it's so jank. It hits like some of the weirdest stuff and it just stops working. Just force stops you from moving forward. Really interesting to see how they have it coded. Where's my command queuing at, bro? I think, what is this, is it League? Actually, it might be all the MOBAs where you can like be like move here then move there kind of deal. There was a MOBA that I remember that was like a thing. And I remember using it pretty often. Like interact. Oh no, I think it might have been Heroes of the Storm that had it. Where I could just be like, drink from this fountain and then go to like this other location after you're done drinking from the taking your sippy. What belt did we get? Oh, we just got the same one we already had before. Chance to bleed 40. Oh, that'd be probably pretty good for a Stormblade build. What's this have? Increase critical strike chance +1 of Fury Elite. Oh, right, this one. The one that turns the... Fireball into lightning. Just angry bear, just minding my own business. Don't need to pay attention to me. Oh, the ice dudes definitely suck to deal with. Those guys are gonna be painful. So maybe not. Oh, never mind. I already saw what was happening to my HP when I was getting hit by the shards. Oh, no, actually, no, it's not that bad. Yeah. I don't really care for anything if it's not like a primeless skill. Like, I might grab some things that I'm like, oh, those are interesting. Right, like the gloves that make convert fireball into lightning, stuff like that. Oh, it's the bees. Oh, get them. I'm one and I owe it. I'm a mama, I'm a dying son of it. I might be bipolar, but Wyoming. Oh my god. That explosion almost killed me. The explosion hit me like a truck, and then I ate the AoE from that other dude, and I almost died there. That would have been unfortunate. That would have been very unfortunate. We can Rune of Shattering that one because it has the resistance to crit. The big old bear. Big Burb, angry.
Be gone from this land.
Sorry, angry Burb.
My flames will scour this place.
Angriest Burb you've ever seen. He got mad because they didn't bring him his Taco Bell order on time.
Pathetic. I do not have much longer.
He was just dying, I'm just picking up gold.
Go north. Retrieve the lance.
Put your hero and who did find here? I said, here, come. We have much to discuss.
This one is weird. I don't know if it's still the case where like
Should not have waited so long to come here.
yeah, if I'm mistaken, there's
Stronger now. I am ready to regain my honor.
yeah, like if I'm mistaken, here is where like we fought through here. Like this is where we spawned. We fought through here. Oh no, maybe they took it out. I don't know. There used to be like from the zone that we meet the ice dude. The ice centaur god dude thing. There used to be like a combat zone, like just in between, and I was always so confused while I was there. I don't know if maybe they took it out. I just always found that it was so weird that it was there.
Yes.
He's got the bees. I wonder how long it takes for the cloak to get. Yeah, I think it's just 2 Twitch drops time around instead of the 3 from launch. Yeah, it's a good idea. That stuff usually takes a little bit sometimes. I still don't kind of. I'm still kind of confused why we do Stormbolt. Because with Gathering Storm, you can make Gathering Storm physical. I remember that instead of it being Storm Bolts, you can make it, basically it throws rocks instead. You know, I wish like there would be like a Diablo style game that was more like martial arts themed. Okay, I was about to say like those things aren't dealing as much damage as I'm used to, but that one kind of had some pause. But I don't remember there's one of these that gives me the quest reward. Bro, I don't know what kind of damage multipliers that dude has, but like he like autoed me like once and it like took a third of my HP. Oh yeah, so I think it's the Panthers. It's just a shit ton of damage. I'm gonna check what the Harbinger they have. No. Oh, nice. Teach me. So. I need break up. So the kingdom may come. Evade is replaced by summon Karab. Fucking say less, bro. Fucking say less. I can say less. You might on me your maker. Oh, look at them! Oh my god! And are they different colors? They are different colors, bro. They're different colors. Oh, that's so sick. That's so sick. I love that ring. That ring is the best ring in the world. Bar none. That ring is the most perfect ring in any Diablo-like ARPG in existence. Yeah, I don't know what the 100 stalkers like autos are, but they holy shit, they murder me. They just tear through your defenses. I don't know what why it does that. Like, that's probably like one of the bigger issues this game has is healing effectiveness. Oh, that's better. Is sometimes you'll just randomly meet a mob that just destroys your HP for no reason. Like it just chunks the shit out of your character. It's a little ridiculous. And not even with like some sort of big hit either, right? Like the Panther thing, like literally was killing me with autos. Like that's insane. Not its breath attack, none of that, no, just its autos.
Aid me.
Oh, knocks back enemies for... Oh, what's this? +1 maximum companions, +1 all minion skills, increased shell duration. Oh, we could probably work with this. Probably put some strength on it. He just didn't stand a chance. He was just stunned the entire time. Pretty close. Our tankiness should still be pretty fine.
Impossible.
Slap, slap, slap. When Michael Jackson's Thriller. We have a lot of HP regen, which is probably the only reason we haven't died. I like most of the shenanigans in here. Oh no, bum. Bum, 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 bum. What do we do next? Alright, it's 2 points here. Two more points here. Two points there. And like 4 points there. I have a feeling that like it's probably not going to change too much when we swap to the armor. I wonder if the crab that's summoned counts towards the companion limit. I think when we get to the next like waypoint, we'll call it for the night. Kind of tired. Oh shit, that was the wrong map. Honestly, we'll really find out how good this build does when we get to the boss.
Gods. Terra, watch over you.
Because the twin bosses on this thing is fucking rough. For melee. Yeah, I remember to focus down the shaman. You guys make shit hella tanky. Hella tanky. Alright, there we go. Pretty good run, I'd say. Glad to see the I was a little hesitant to the swap because the last time I tried to do a physical warbear build, it felt really lackluster. So the fact that this one so far feels pretty good is nice. Wait, does this helmet have its own model? Really? I think the gloves are... Well, probably changed. Gonna check it on this character. Best ring ever. Little crabs. Mr. Crab. Oh, I already had one, right? Oh wait, the vendor is right next to it this time.
Yes.
But something had... There was something that I was holding on to because... Oh, there we go. That one.
Yes. I see.
Nice. Yeah, reduced damage from crits is really important. And then so we get them like 4 levels. But the problem is that like there's a small problem in the fact that this doesn't do anything for us until we get the idols, and I don't know when we get the idols. I'm kind of just banking on that we get the no, actually it's gonna be a while before we get the unique because the unique's at like 54. Shoot. I'm thinking, like, I'm debating if I should do what most people tend to do. So, it's like the general way people do this is they go through the ice section, and then when they get to the section where they have to deal with Lagon, which I'm thinking is Fatima, maybe? They don't do Lagon. They stop and then they go to the obelisk. Obelisk? Monolith? Whatever. They go to the end game and they level there until they're strong enough to like land pan the like Lagon and keep going because Lagon's actually really tough. He hits really hard. Which I might do once we hit like 50. Or not 50, like whenever we're done with this. And then hopefully when we do that we can get whatchamacallit? We can get the unique so that way we can swap over to the cold frostbite bear build. I should check what else I need for that in case I find something along the way. But yeah, so that's going to be it for the stream. Again, as always, it should work because I think I updated it the other day and I checked it today. But if you'd like to join the Discord, please feel free to go ahead. Predominantly just use it just to say when I go live. Yeah, this will, like I've said before, this will be the schedule until we finished the Apex BP, which, to be honest, with the rate that we went at today, if we can keep that up, like, to the end of this week, we'll probably, like, get it done at the latest, like, probably halfway through next week. So, and then when that happens, I'm probably going to play Last Epoch during the day bracket, and then probably Zenless Zone 0 at night, so I can grind that until we get Ellen, and then probably build her some, and then probably bench Zenless Zone 0 until I get, which we'll probably swap for, like, maybe First Descendant? I don't know. We'll see. I'll figure it out. But, yeah. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I do appreciate it. If it is already nephew, have a good day. If it was already nephew, have a good as well. Stay safe, stay hydrated, and I will see you all again in the next one. Bye-bye.